the Rehabilitation Training Center of Excellence, Mutengene, Cameroon. A project realized by the Cameroon Baptist Convention, CBC Health Services, with funding from its Dutch-based collaborators, the AFAS Foundation and the Lilian Foundation. The CBC Health Services is a strategic partner organization to the Lilian Foundation. Cameroon has about 15% of its population with disabilities. Through partner organizations, the CBC Health Services provides interventions to over 3,000 children and youth with disabilities annually. However, the quality of rehabilitation services had huge gaps, as confirmed by the 2016 research led by a Dutch physiotherapist, Renske. A follow-up nationwide feasibility study in 2019 also revealed no formal training in community-based rehabilitation, no formal training in occupational therapy, limited and low-quality training in physiotherapy, and no training in speech and language therapy. All these are very important cadres in the rehabilitation of children, youth, and adults with disabilities. These gaps led to the development of training programs in these cadres by the CBC Health Services EDIT program in partnership with selected higher training institutions, and eventually the construction of the Rehabilitation Training Center of Excellence to train rehabilitation professionals.
Before going into undergoing the training of CBR, my greatest ambition was to better gain skill to identify these children in the community, assess their need, and intervene in a way that suits their need in order to integrate them in their family, in the community, promoting participation and inclusion, and also do referrals for these children.
Skills gained in training are implemented in the communities to the satisfaction of beneficiaries.
The child was having difficulty to pee. The child could not make noise. The child could not smile. Now Ryan is smiling. Ryan is trying to talk.
The present success goes back in time, and it is a testament of efforts towards rehabilitation improvement.
When Glory, myself, we visited the Liliana Foundation in Holland and had a meeting with the leadership. And the leaders in the Liliana Foundation actually told us how we can work with people living with disabilities in Cameroon by developing personnel, different cadres of personnel. And that coincided, it agreed with what we were already doing in Cameroon. And to do the training, it meant also that we had to have structures. And the funds actually came from AFAS Foundation through the Liliana Foundation for us to build these structures. The training that we are doing here now in Mutengene is approved by the Ministry of Social Affairs, is approved by Higher Education, and of course, it is a training that is recognized.
From inception to realization, the active collaboration of the Ministry of Social Affairs has been visible.
The Minister of Social Affairs validated the program and supervised the program in order to make sure that the training fits not only national but international standards. As a loan center in this country for now, that got across with giving holistic training with multi-sectoral disciplines in order to provide not only functional methods in order to rehabilitate persons with disability, but also the health sector. The minister is behind the program to make sure that persons with disabilities are better cared for, and not for them to be better cared for. They should be cared by professionals who have the adequate training.
To the Ministry of Social Affairs, these training programs are not only necessary but urgent, as they perfectly add up to other efforts that the government is doing to meet up with the World Health Organization expectation under the 2030 agenda, with target increased access to quality rehabilitation services as major milestones for universal health coverage. These initiatives will profoundly improve the offer, access and quality of rehabilitation services, especially for children, youth, and adults with disabilities everywhere in the country.
While graduated students are already creating impacts in communities, more are undergoing training to meet the high demand.
My aim of study is to be able to serve the great needs of people that need the services of physiotherapy in our society, beginning from the children and to the adults. The physiotherapists to patient ratio in the country is very low, so my goal is to be able to join the workforce in order to be able to make sure that we attend to them.
With an enabling learning environment, the center aims at the best products.
Students have all the necessary resources they need. We have skills lab and we have library where they go and read books, and we have also internet for the sake of self-learning. For additional things that our students come together from different departments like physiotherapy, CBR and occupational therapy, and then have like a common training where they share knowledge.
Apart from sharing knowledge, there are many benefits of having all the courses, which initially started at different locations in one center, the Rehabilitation Training Center of Excellence.
First of all, it's an opportunity for the students to network, and then also out of school it extends not only in the school but also it extends out of school, because when the students are networking already in school, as they go to the community, it becomes very easy, and we already see that happening because they already know themselves, and a CBR worker can easily call a multi-skilled rehabilitation worker for referral purposes, and they can also refer to a physiotherapy and occupational therapy. It reduces costs for the school.
Appreciation goes to the Dutch Republic. Without them, this lofty initiative could have remained a dream.
We are blessed, especially in the Netherlands. We're doing a lot of projects in the Netherlands as well, but just in countries as Cameroon, Kenya, Uganda, Sierra Leone, it's a matter of life. And together with the CBC Health Service, we are making a difference. Of course, also with our partner, Liliana Foundation, because you are doing actually the work and we are alongside providing the means in order to realize this. But it's a matter of my heart as well. So for that reason, I'm happy and I'm convinced that it will be very fruitful.
We do this with the support of the Dutch public, who has been donating quite generously in the past years. So we think that this training center, it requires some years for it to reach its full potential. There are still some challenges to be met. Of course, we have to take care that people who are being trained here also actually find a place to work. Some of them do, but we can also improve on that. There's also the challenge on having affordable tuition fees and ensuring that there are scholarships, ensuring that we continuously work on the quality of the program, which is already very good, but it needs continuous efforts.
With the architecture contextually designed, the expansion vision was considered accordingly.
We decided that the building must be flexible because you have a very young population growing very fast and your demands change all the time and your buildings have to be able to grow. Because it's completely off-grid, there is no electricity here, there is nothing. So we decided we want to make solar power. So it was for us very important to make the architecture light inside. So you don't have to switch on the lights. You don't have to use the air conditioning all the time. We want to make a sustainable building with very low energy use. And I'm very happy what I see today here, because after all this hard work of the whole team, I can see a building which meets this requirement.
It is not just a building, it is an innovation entirely.
The Rehabilitation Training Center of Excellence in Motengene brings in a lot of innovation in the landscape of public health in Cameroon by introducing courses like community-based rehabilitation workers, multi-skill rehabilitation technicians, and especially occupational therapies, which are new fields in Cameroon. And monitoring of success will have to be at two levels. At the level of ensuring that the graduates have the competencies that are required in the market, but also at the level of generating demand for these services in the communities.
While some novelties suffer stagnation, preemptive measures are being employed for its sustainability.
We have been working since the beginning with the Ministry of Social Affairs to get approval for these courses so that they are integrated into the public service. We also have advocacy that we are doing with the Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Health, to also see that the school fees are subsidized like for state universities. We are also looking at continuous working with regional assembly to see that they send in more candidates for training, and then they also absorb those who are being trained. We are also working towards establishing like a rehabilitation clinic which will be attached to the school. We want the school to run with a business mindset in such a way that it can also attract students from other countries in Africa, and that will be when quality is provided.
It is one thing to graduate here. It is another to continue creating the expected impacts now and in the years to come, rejuvenating smiles and hope.
We have really worked with them and developed their motor skills, so they can now work. Others now go to school themselves. Others now can be able to ride a wheelchair and go to school themselves.
L'enfant ne marche pas, ses mains il ne manipule pas bien ses mains. Pour le moment, il manipule bien ses mains. Il marche, il lave même ses habits. Parfois, s'il s'agit même de certains travaux qui n'est pas tellement vu, il ne fait pas effet aussi.